So we're gonna get started on a really basic French toast recipe. So I've just got a shallow bowl here. Sometimes I do this in a pie plate as well. I'm gonna go in with 6 eggs. 6 eggs to me is perfect for like 8-ish pieces of bread. Good for, 4 people. I know a lot of ratios are like 1 egg per slice of bread, but sometimes I find that's a little bit too much depending on what you're using. So those 6 eggs, I'm feeling good. Cracking 6 eggs on TV, always intimidating. Why did I say that out loud, Mary? I don't know. This is when things really start going wild. All right, last one. I think we can do it. Oh, hey, thank you very much. Not my first rodeo. All right, now anytime I am making French toast, I always like to bust up the yolks first and give it a little bit of a whisk before I start adding in the dairy. Otherwise, you're playing the game of chasing that yolk all around, and I don't like that game. That's not a game that I want to play in the kitchen. All right, now into those 6 eggs, I'm going in with 1/2 cup of dairy. I'm going in with whole milk. You could also do 2%. If you're a 1% family or skim milk family, go for it. Personally, I feel like that's just like kind of weird water. Like it's not thick and rich enough, But you do you. You could also, if you really wanted to go snazzy, you could do cream, coffee cream, whipping cream if you're going extra delish. But we're sticking with milk. It's Monday, Mary. Save the whipping cream for Friday. Am I right? All right, give that a good whisk. Now I'm gonna season that up. Now as opposed to adding in some sugar, which I often would do, I'm gonna go in with a bit of salt. Now I typically do add salt to my regular French toast, but I'm going in with about 1/2 teaspoon for this, just to kind of enforce that it is a savory vibe. Then I'm gonna go in with about 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. Now, I could measure it into there, but what I like to do is get a little dish or a little kind of bowl, get my pepper mill fits in, and then just kind of go to town. Because then you can actually measure it. I know that you can buy a gadget that does this for you. I refuse. Whenever I tell my mom to measure pepper, I'm like 1/2 teaspoon. She's like, there you go. I'm like, that is not 1/2 teaspoon. So we want a good amount of pepper in this, again, for that flavor. Myra Berg, keep grinding. That's what you gotta do. That looks like about 1/2 teaspoon to me, so I'm going in with that. But now we need a little bit of nutmeg. And now, since I don't have pockets, I was very inventive today. I put it in the knot of my shirt. Feeling good about that. All right, nutmeg is such a great flavor. It's used a lot in French cuisine in both sweet and savory dishes. So working this into this gives a little bit of a lemony warmth to this mixture. So whether I'm doing sweet or savory French toast, it's always in there. I'm skipping the cinnamon though, that's a little bit too sweet for this today. So give that a nice whisk. And then we want to soak our bread. So I've got 8 slices of challah here. You could also do sourdough, really whatever you've got hanging around. Now I like to soak my bread for about 30 seconds total. You want it to really absorb and get in there. That's gonna give you really nice flavor. So coming on over here, I've got a pan. Heating over about medium heat. Now, when I am making French toast or pancakes, really any sort of breakfasty starch, I like cooking it in both butter and oil because you get the flavor of the butter and the smoke point of the oil. Gives you a really good golden brown color. So I'm gonna go in with about a teaspoon, measuring a teaspoon on live TV, also fun. There you go. A teaspoon of butter. You can see, do you see my math? My stick butter math? It works, it's a good thing. A little bit of oil as well, just to melt down. Get that all combined. That's gonna be really nice. It's gonna give you a little bit of a fry, but also that butter fat's gonna be beautiful. Now, I'm just gonna use my fingers, pop that in, give that a little bit of a toss. Since this is challah, which is a pretty tender bread, it's already nice and soaked in. So that's looking beautiful. So I'm gonna grab that, pop that on into my pan. And you want that to cook for about, I'd say 3 to 4 minutes per side, just until golden brown and cooked all the way through. By soaking it for a good long time, what you're gonna do is you're gonna get that custardy center that you love when you get French toast made by someone else. It's because they're soaking it. That's always a good thing. All right, we're gonna let that do its thing. Then what you wanna do, anytime you're making something that takes batches, I've got my oven heated to 200 degrees, and I've got the French toast that I made earlier, keeping warm in there. So always a good thing. Now this is looking beautiful. Because we used challah, you get this beautiful yellow color. That's looking stunning. I'm obsessed. And if you were to serve this right now, take out the pepper, maybe add some cinnamon, beautiful French toast, so good. But now we're going a little wild because I want that pizza. So what I'm gonna do is I've got 2 cups of grated smoked mozzarella cheese here. To be honest, the first time I did this, I did it with applewood smoked cheddar or maple smoked cheddar. See, now you see the thought process. Maple smoked cheddar, maple syrup, it works. But we're going smoked mozzarella. Now, if you wanted to, you could also do this with regular mozzarella, but just pop this on top. Just divide it over those 8 slices of French toast. And to be honest, this under the broiler just as is, absolutely delicious. Really, really nice. The little bit of that savory cheese with that smokiness gives you like a little bit of a bacony vibe. To be honest, this with a little bit of bacon on it would also be delicious. But again, a lot of my recipes at home and my dinners at home are made out of me being like, I want two things, but they don't make sense together. So I'm just gonna mush them together and hopefully they work. This one definitely does. So I've got that cheese down, and then I've got about 16 slices of spicy Genoa salami. So you wanna use something that's a little bit spicy, even just a classic pepperoni would be great, but we're gonna top each with 2 slices, 1 or 2 slices of that Genoa. And you wanna use a thin slice, and you wanna use good quality salami here because that tends to do the like crisp up as opposed to like the flat. We don't want that. And if I'm losing any of you, don't worry, stick with it, it's delicious. Seriously, everyone's turning on the TV and be like, what is she making? It's good, I promise. All right, now that goes back into the oven on the middle rack, but you wanna pop your broiler on to high. So keep it on the middle rack so it's nice and kind of far away. Pop it on for high for about 1 to 2 minutes, and you end up with my dream food. Looks a little something like this. Like, guys, it's a little wild. If you can smell it, it smells amazing. It is very, very good. So what I'm gonna do is plate this up. And again, just in case anyone is still with me, I might lose you here, but that's okay, I'm ready for it. Even though this is a savory French toast, I still reach for that beautiful, beautiful maple syrup. It's that sweet and spicy and delicious. I'm gonna pop that on. Oh yeah. Guys, this makes no sense, but it tastes so good. Honestly, every time I make this at home, I'm always like, is this as good as I remember? And the answer is heck yeah, it is. Let's give it a taste. Okay. Oh my gosh. So good. Salty, spicy, cheesy, sweet, everything I could want.
Hey, Mary here. What did you think? Drop your comments below and don't forget to like and subscribe for more of the good stuff.